You know, it's a big world out there, and it's easy to feel like the things you say mean nothing to anyone. And I'm here to tell you that's not true. And that's why we call this show Your Voice Matters, where we take your stupid fucking comments and questions and messages and respond to them personally. Fade it out, Brett. Oh, hey, everyone. Welcome to Your Voice Matters, a show where we read your comments, your questions, your opinions, and we respond to them personally. I'm your host, Adam Todd Brown. Joining me to answer your questions this week, Connor McSpadden's here. How's it going, man?
You got Conspiracy the Show and my Your Voice Matters. You got Your Voice Matters and my Conspiracy of the Show.
Whoa! Two great tastes that taste great together.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what everyone is saying. Connor, thank you for doing this. I had to set this up at the last minute. Had another guest lined up. They just dropped out.
Thanks for letting everybody know I was the second choice.
So, do we just want to dive right in?
We got a lot of questions.
Yeah, we got a lot. We got to get through these. If you want to ask us questions for these, you can do it on the You Don't Even Like Podcast Network Discord. That's out there somewhere. I think if you go to like youdon'tevenlike.com/Discord, you'll find it. I'm bad at running this network, but trust me, it fucking exists.
I found it somehow.
If you subscribe on Patreon or Supercast, you're automatically entered into the Discord, if that's how the kids say it. I don't fucking know.
You have entered into the Discord.
So with all that, let's get to our questions. Up first, Barlock.
That's a guy that you meet when you enter into the Discord. Barlock.
I've asked Adam this before. Feel free to share too, though. But Connor, ever had any weird, unexplainable encounters in your life? Ghosts, cryptids, etc.?
Yeah, actually, I've had a couple. The first one that always stands out to me is when I was about 13, 14, I was really into Naruto and Dragon Ball Z and anything related to ki or chi or prana or mana or the life forces of the human body. So, hungry for information, I ride my scooter to the local Borders books and I buy the most legit looking book about Kung Fu that I can find. And in this Kung Fu book, I read the whole thing cover to cover. It talks about this energy center underneath your like abdomen, like sort of in between your dick and your belly button, called the Dan Tian.
Okay.
And I start practicing centering my energy in the Dan Tian. I do this every morning. And we end up having a sleepover. And we used to have sleepovers in my buddy's backyard in a tent. I don't know why we thought that was fun, but that was a great idea to us between the age of 14 and 18. While we were in the tent, we had a group of 4 guys that were Inland Empire racist Republicans. So not like woo-woo fucking dudes at all.
Sure.
I would gather my energy in my Dan Tian, and then I would imagine a little energy snake going out from my stomach to somewhere on the other person's body. And I would tell one of my other friends, like, okay, I'm going for his right shoulder. And then I would sit there and concentrate and I would go for his right shoulder. And then I asked the guy, did you feel like any itching or sensation anywhere? And he would say, yeah, my right shoulder. And we did it like 10 times. I got it like 8 out of 10 times.
That's amazing.
It was really strange. I mean, people have told me over the years, like, oh, it's the power of suggestion. I don't know, 8 out of 10 times.
Yeah, they said that they have asked me this question before, and I don't know if this was my answer last time, but I know I've mentioned this, I think, on this same podcast before. But I had a similar thing when I was a kid. I had a couple of cousins who got way into white magic.
Nice. So, like, Bobby Caldwell and shit like that.
Yeah, like benevolent spells and shit. Like,
yeah,
just like The Secret, but with Eye of Newt and cauldrons and things. Like,
those guys are out there, though, the wholesome magicians.
Yeah. And one of the spells in these books that they had was a thing you could recite to make the wind blow. And it was really short. All I remember is it had the word caraboosh in it.
That sounds like a Jack Blackism. Caraboosh.
It sure does. Actually, I remember the end was caraboosh, bring me a breeze. And Connor, I shit you not, every time I did it, the wind would start blowing.
Wow.
It was
fucking
the
weird.
weirdest fucking thing.
Every once in a while, a real spell's got to matriculate down to these, 70s white magic hand Xerox pamphlets, of which I have a small collection of. Like, I have like a clearly self-published guide on how to do telekinesis. I got that at the occult bookstore. I don't know why I have that in my garage.
Did it work? Did you try it out?
I never even opened it. I just bought it because I had too much money.
Yeah, I bought a book about how to read any person in 6 minutes, and I couldn't even read that book for 6 minutes. I was like, this sounds like bullshit. All right, next question. Flower nymph. What's an immediately satisfying moment in your life because you were proven right and everyone also realized that you were so right? Connor.
Throughout my entire childhood, my mother would give me so much shit about like ruining her pans. I would cook, quesadillas and shit. And I would always very carefully clean the pans because I knew it was going to be a big issue. And she would always, you're stripping the finish off of my pans. You're scrubbing it way too hard. You're a piece of shit. I hate you. You're going to hell. Fuck you. I wish I never had you. She would it's the biggest sticking point in my relationship with my mother. I moved out for 10 years. Come back to visit, and she's like, you know what, I realized it was me who was scratching the pans, and I was so angry. I was like, you fuck.
Nice.
It wasn't even satisfying. I was so mad.
Yeah, mine would be easy. It would be the Trump thing, when I was saying Trump was going to win in 2015 and everyone was like, shut up, weirdo. That wasn't satisfying. That was more a bummer, but still.
Mostly because you didn't put any action on it. I mean, if only Kalshi were around, you could have fucking flipped that opinion for a mint.
Yeah. I would have made a fucking killing if Kalshi was a thing back then. Can you do Kalshi in California? I know you can't do the sports betting apps in California.
I am not that much of a degenerate yet, so I don't know.
Same.
I don't really want to play around with Kalshi just because of all the insider trading now.
Yeah. I don't fuck with gambling in general. Flower Nymph has a follow-up question. If you could swap bodies with a famous person for a day, who would you pick and why?
Well, there's that saying, all comedians want to be rock stars and all rock stars want to be comedians. I thought about it a lot. I thought about picking a hot chick because I've always been curious about the vagina having more nerve endings in it than the penis. So I'd be interested in having a female orgasm.
Sure.
But then I thought, what about like being some playboy guy that's like, fucking hot and rich and getting all the pussy? And I thought, all right, I've been there, done that. And then I thought, what about being the front man for a 1970s punk rock band that only I like? I would like to be Monkey Keith Warren from the Attics. Final answer.
Yeah, that's a solid answer. I wouldn't mind feeling what it feels like to be Trump for a day. I want to know what goes on in that motherfucker's head.
I would love to have a Diet Coke button. I mean, who wouldn't?
Yeah. I really want to know, like, what are the people around him saying to him? Is he posting all those things on Truth Social?
I want to see what the little like highlight reel of things they blew up in Iran every day that he watches. I want to see that.
Yeah. All of that shit. So yeah, I'm going to go Trump. Why not? Go Boo Killer. What is your proudest moment of convincing someone of the validity of a conspiracy theory? Not necessarily that it's true, but at the very least that it's a likely possibility.
I have almost never in my life convinced anybody that any conspiracy theory is true. This might surprise you, but out of a combination of like just not wanting to be that guy or get into it, I'm pretty good at it. For all my foibles, I can act normal at a party for a good hour and 45 minutes before I start talking about Werner von Braun. But the only time I've ever convinced anybody is Keith Carey, my dear friend, who doesn't give a shit about any of this, doesn't care about conspiracy theories or aliens or history, nothing. And I told him about Werner von Braun's deathbed confession about scapegoating communism, then third world terrorism, and then an alien invasion. And he says it keeps him up at night. So that was pretty satisfying.
That would be satisfying. Yeah. For me, this is a similar answer to the Trump election thing, but for me, it would be the Ace of Base conspiracy, that Ace of Base is a Nazi band.
That one's open and shut.
I was at least on the cutting edge of breaking that theory, if not the person who broke that theory. So, and I fucking stand by it 100%. Fucking Nazis. All right. ValaQuest has a whole host of questions.
ValaQuest.
Up first, how's it going? I'm fine. Connor? How's it going?
I'm solid.
Cool. Favorite archaeological site and or artifact / museum exhibit. What you got?
Well, obviously, I was just talking about this with my buddies the other day. Apparently, there's an internet movie database. There's a historical marker database. One letter off, one position of the alphabet off. Could not be more different. As my friend pointed out, it sounds like a Parks and Rec joke that there would even be such a thing. But there is one at the home of like my great granduncle or some shit, Gunpowder Sam McSpadden, Revolutionary War veteran who gave Andrew Jackson a bunch of gunpowder so he could win the final battle of the War of 1812. So that's got to be, I got to choose that one. That's got to be one of them. And as far as my favorite museum, at the March Airfield Museum in Riverside, you can sit in an SR-71 Blackbird, which is
Oh,
fucking
shit.
sweet. It's like being in a Naboo starfighter, pretty much.
Yeah, I went to a couple of museums in Seattle that would probably count as my favorite. The Aeronautical Museum in Seattle, I don't remember the exact name of it, but it's, I believe, where Boeing was first headquartered. And they've got like Air Force One, they got a fucking Concorde, and you can go in and walk through them
Oh,
all.
that's sick.
It's cool as shit. And then anyone who goes to Seattle, please fucking do this. There is a glass museum. It's a artist named Dale Chaluli, and he does these huge fucking glass sculptures and installations that take up entire rooms. And it is the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. It is absolutely my favorite museum I've ever been to. Fucking
I don't know
rules.
how I forgot the Punk Rock Museum too. Honorable mention.
Yeah, I did like the punk rock museum a lot. There's also a like music, like a world music type of museum that me and my wife went to in Arizona. And it's gigantic. It's in either Phoenix, Scottsdale, one of those cities are all like side by side.
Yeah, just the Phoenix metro area.
Yeah. And it's got just entire rooms dedicated to the music of almost every fucking country in the world. And they give you headphones and you just walk up to a video screen by each instrument and you see video of someone playing that instrument. So you get to know what it sounds like.
Love a weird ass instrument.
You would love that fucking museum.
Like a gourd with a piece of twine attached to it and a 10-foot long stick. I'm like, let's go. This is going to sound sick.
There's so much shit like that. And then there was one where it was all of these vintage, old timey looking instruments. And then there was just a Moog synthesizer in the middle. It's like, oh, that's ye old synthesizer that your ancestors used.
The one that they made the Clockwork Orange soundtrack on. Not to be the biggest dick in the world, but just as a public service for anyone listening to, because I didn't know this, it's Moog.
Oh,
If it wasn't pretentious enough.
yeah, I did not know that. I like Moog better, so I'm just going to stick with that. But
Yeah, it kind of does sound better.
yeah,
I will say honorable mention because I think our listeners would like this. In Tucson, I forget the name of it. You can tour a defunct nuclear missile silo,
oh shit.
and you can see like the 1980s tech. It looks super 80s down there. It's really fascinating. Like the filing cabinets and the chairs are all original and shit.
Oh, I like that.
It's really cool. I would definitely recommend doing that if you are unfortunate enough to find yourself in Tucson for some horrible reason.
I would go to that. Favorite One Piece characters? I'm guessing this is just for Connor.
Never watched it. Don't have one. I know Luffy, so I'll just say Luffy to give you an answer.
Oh, I was going to go Roronoa Zoro myself, but that's just me.
You just Google that,
What?
fucker.
No, I fucking knew that. And last question from ValaQuest. If you were going to join a cult, which?
Got to go Heaven's Gate. Is the degree to which the Heaven's Gate universe world building aligns with my own bipolar psychosis is I was watching it and I was like, if I was alive in the 70s, I would have been in this cult.
Sure, that makes sense. Yeah, for me, if not for all of the racism, I would say Jonestown, because as a white person, I'd do great in Jonestown. That was just a racist slave colony. All the white people ran it, but it was racist, so I can't pick that. I don't know. Maybe iPhone users? Maybe I'll go back to that cult someday. I saw someone post a thing on Instagram or one of the fucking social media sites, and it was a picture of basketball player Giannis Antetokounmpo, absurdly rich man, taking a picture of something, and he had a Google Pixel phone, and this person was like, "That's what poor people do." It's like they are begging us to take iPhones these days. I've seen homeless people with iPhones. If you think having an iPhone is a sign of wealth, I got bad news about how wealthy you are.
It's kind of a sign that you don't read Consumer Reports.
Yeah, it's definitely that. Science Patrol, Connor, on several occasions you have made reference to anime adjacent things. Are you a semi-secret weeb? And if so, what are your gateway series? And if you're still dabbling, what are you currently watching? Adam, I'm sorry for however long you'll be sitting in silence while Connor answers this question. I'm going to beatbox while Connor answers it. Actually, I'm not.
Look, here's my answer. I have only seen Toonami, which makes me more American. I've only seen the Dragon Ball Z and Full Metal Alchemist and that shit. I've only seen Toonami and Inuyasha and Naruto and Chainsaw Man
That's
and
it?
Dragon Ball Super
Oh, okay. That's it, though?
and the original Gundam
Nothing else?
and Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, that's really all I've seen. I feel like I've seen only the super basic kind of mainstream stuff. My high school buddies, I talk to them all the time, are fucking huge weebs. So I get a lot of downstream weebiness from them that just kind of rubs off on me. And for some reason, I mean, it's mostly Dragon Ball Z analogies because it's just such a formative show for me. I think of everything in terms of Goku and Vegeta and Senzu beans and Corn the cat and all that shit. So I apologize / you're welcome.
Yeah, that is all such a blind spot for me. I have no anime references queued up ever.
I would look at Cowboy Bebop if you ever want to. That's the starting point. That's
I had
like
an ex who tried to show me that and was like, "Here's where you start," and I was like, "No, it's not. This is actually where I end."
I got nothing for you.
Similar question from Mike Scorpio. Connor, which is cooler, Yu-Gi-Oh or Digimon? Adam, based on Connor's answer above, do you find him more or less cool?
Digimon did not have the merchandising that Yu-Gi-Oh did. It had a whole universe of cards that's ever expanding till this day. You can literally waste your entire life analyzing. There's people on YouTube that do it. I watch them occasionally. Digimon did not have that real world. It was literally based on a digital world. I mean, what could you get a fucking Agumon toy? Like, okay, you can play for that 10 minutes. You can play Yu-Gi-Oh for hours and hours and hours and get a different result every time. It's Yu-Gi-Oh and it's not even particularly close.
That seems like a solid answer to me. So does not change my opinion of you either way to answer that follow-up.
Nice.
Sith, if you had to flee the country in the next 12 hours, where would you go? Can we go anywhere? Are there restrictions?
I guess I could have just gone to St. Bart's. That would be nice.
Yeah, I would go to Costa Rica because it's, for one thing, aside from Canada, the only other foreign country I've ever been to, and I loved it. Fucking loved Costa Rica. I would live in Costa Rica. Absolutely.
Based on the stereotype I'm imagining in my own mind, it sounds pretty sick.
Yeah, Costa Rica was beautiful. The part I was in was literal rainforest. Our hotel was built in the middle of a rainforest, which sounds irresponsible, but the guy who built the hotel actually rebuilt a rainforest around it. It had been rainforest before and was all knocked down and like cleared out, and this guy rebuilt a rainforest and then put a resort in the middle of it, and
that's pretty cool.
It was fucking sick. We were in a town called La Fortuna. It was great. So yeah, I'd fucking go to Costa Rica.
I got enough Spanish where I think within 6 months to a year I could probably be fluent.
Yeah.
So I got to do Mexico, and Mexican food, awesome. Easy availability of pharmaceutical drugs. You got to love that.
Sure.
And cheap. The dollar goes a longer way there. You know, that's that too.
That makes sense. I bet that's kind of the case in Costa Rica too. I like that Costa Rica doesn't have an army, or do I like
that's
that?
cool.
I don't know if I would like that once I got there. It'd be like,
yeah, you would feel a little exposed.
Yeah, it'd be like when my cat finally gets outside from time to time and starts looking around like, fuck, what do I do now? I'm not prepared for this at all. Mr. Wind Up Man, what TV show and or movie do you rewatch at least once a year?
I've watched The Sopranos enough times where I've seen it for once a year for the rest of my life. So I've got to say that one. Although I don't know if I could watch it again just because I literally have every scene memorized.
Yeah, for me, it would be, I don't know. I don't think there's anything I go back and rewatch at least once a year, but I've seen The Twilight Zone a whole lot. That's maybe my favorite TV show ever.
That's a pretty good pick. That's a nice classy pick. I got the basic millennial male, you know.
I mean, I was going to say the Wire too. I've watched a bunch of that.
I still haven't seen The Wire. I've been saving it.
Oh, The Wire's good. Here's the thing. My wife does not watch violent television or movies. Like if she reads the description of a TV show or a movie and sees that there's a fucking fist fight, she's going to be like, watch it without me. That's too violent. She watched The fucking Wire and loved that shit. Like she put up with the violence because of how good that show is. You should watch it. Right now, though, I'm rewatching Tales from the Crypt. That was never available on streaming until like a couple months ago. They put all 7 seasons up on Shudder. God damn it, that was a fun show.
Oh my God. Today we're finding out that, what's that? I was going to say Barbarella, but that's not even the the goth chick that shows creepy stuff.
Elvira.
There you go. Okay, Vampire is a Misfits song.
What did Elvira do?
Wasn't she like a TV host that just showed spooky shows?
Yeah.
The Toonami guy of scary things.
Comrade Dodogama, if that is your real name. Connor, what's a new hobby you would want to try?
Well, I'm always lamenting that I don't throw knives anymore. Throwing knives is really relaxing and enjoyable, and women find it extremely attractive.
I bet.
I've also always wanted to be a pizza oven guy.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I have a pizza oven attachment that goes on top of a charcoal grill, and it works really nice.
Oh, nice. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. It cooks up a real nice pizza. A new hobby I would want to try. I have always wanted to play chess, but God damn, it seems like it takes too long.
It does take a while. You get into it, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I think chess would be the answer for me. I wish I kept playing guitar. I played guitar for a bunch of years, and then I saw Prince play a solo at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I was like, I'm never going to be that good, so I just quit.
The one where he throws it up in the rafters and it disappears.
Oh yeah.
I used to work for the director that directed that, and he would to present day he refuses to. He claims he doesn't know where the guitar went.
That was such a great fucking performance.
Or his fucking Super Bowl solo in the rain for Purple Rain is nuts.
Yeah, and then playing a Foo Fighters cover. That was wild.
At the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he played Best of You by Foo Fighters.
What a G. Oh, I know. I have a great Prince story from a guy that used to be a session player for him.
Oh, what's that?
One night he was holding court in his harem of women, smoking opium and, being awesome. And he was playing around on the bass, and he starts playing Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. And him and Michael Jackson notoriously hate each other.
Right.
And he said, doon, doon, doodle, doon, 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 doodle, doon. And he starts kind of talking, and he's like, it is kind of a hot bass line to fuck little boys to. Don't stop till you get enough.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, my only Prince story is we talked to a psychic on an episode of a podcast once who said she had a seance with Prince after he died, and that he told her that his newly hired Haitian assistant is the one who gave him the drugs that killed him, but that it was an accident. She didn't realize she was buying tainted drugs.
Did he have a newly hired Haitian assistant?
I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where you look up those kind of Prince details.
Yeah, really. I guess you're right.
I wouldn't want to be that much of a fan of anyone where I'm like, well, he did just hire that fucking Haitian assistant.
I guess you'd want to talk to like the house manager or something,
Yeah. I'll call him up. I mean, I've been to his house. I've been to Paisley Park. Oh, I should have said that for a museum exhibit. Prince's house is fun as shit.
I bet this sounds awesome.
I mean, it's easy to go to. It's a little expensive. There's a 1 hour, a 90-minute, and a 3-hour version of the tour. And we just did the 1 hour, but I want to go back for the 3-hour sometime. But when we went, they were doing an exhibit that was just all of his shoes over the years. And going in, I was like, oh, that seems kind of boring. I don't know if I care about that. Connor, it was the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. Like, just the size of the everything from the Batman era had a little, like, Batman logo shaped metal tip on the front of all the boots. It was mostly boots, mostly fucking high heel boots.
Well, yeah, you gotta take yourself up from 5'6" to 5'8".
Yeah, exactly. I think he was actually like 5'2" or something, 5'4". How tall was Prince?
See, 5'3". Wow.
Yeesh. He's a little guy.
Shorter than David Spade.
Yeah. El Celdo, my dog has just been diagnosed with Lyme disease. Oh, sorry to hear that. Can I sue the U.S. government for compensation, or will that just make them invade Canada faster?
Put this one together for me. I don't know what he's saying here.
Oh, you aren't familiar with the Lyme disease conspiracy?
No.
Oh, there is a huge conspiracy that claims that Lyme disease was a biological weapon, or at least something that was being researched as a potential biological weapon, and accidentally escaped from a facility, I believe in either Long Island or Staten Island, something like that.
I can't believe they're doing high level research in either of those places.
Are you familiar with the Montauk Monster?
Sure.
It's the same facility that the Montauk Monster is tied to. I believe it's called Plum Island.
Ooh, that's a good name for a sketchy island.
And I think it's Plum Island. Again, I'm pulling all of this from memory. I didn't research this before we recorded. So, any fucking fact checkers at home, relax. But the basic gist is that a facility in the New York area accidentally let Lyme disease get out. And that's why we have it now.
Who let the dogs out?
It's actually a pretty interesting theory.
Oh, so can you sue the U.S. government for compensation? You can sue anyone for anything at any time.
Yeah, do it.
I mean, I don't know. These days, you might get lawfared.
Well, I was going to say with this administration, you might fucking get somewhere suing the U.S. government for releasing Lyme disease. Run that by RFK Jr. See what his thoughts on it are.
That's a good point.
Me and him don't agree on much, but I bet we probably agree on some conspiracy theory shit.
And if not, you could convince him over like a glass of methylene blue pretty easily.
Absolutely. All right, Doug H. Nuts. Wouldn't it be cool if Connor and Adam were in a superhero movie where Adam was the main guy and Connor was the wacky sidekick? Then Jeff May showed up as the hero's arch nemesis, flanked by an army of Ethan Lawrence clones as henchmen. Would we get paid?
Yeah, it works. Jeff does not like me, so it would make sense we would be nemesis with each other. Every time I see Jeff somewhere, he looks me up and down like he's just like, ugh, every inch of you is contemptible.
I think Jeff likes you.
He gives me this look. He always gives me the "Am I going to have to fight you?" look.
Well, is he? You should just punch him one day.
I'm good. Guy boxes. I rewatch fucking Dragon Ball Super. We're not the same.
ADX3, which would you rather have definitive proof of existence via first contact? Your deity of choice or a belligerent but incapable hostile alien species? Belligerently hostile but incapable, meaning they might attack, causing potentially significant damage, but it's not necessarily an ID4 end of the world scenario. Bonus question, which deity would you choose if you chose deity?
This is a really convoluted question, and also it's a really strange and specific strain of alien to imagine that they have access to presumably faster than light travel to reach the Earth and invade us, but they're somehow so bumbling they can't. They're susceptible to our drones and machine guns. Like what?
Yeah. That's always been my question about all the UFO sightings in the 1950s. They were like the government was desperate to find what that technology was. It's like the technology that kept falling out of our skies because of fucking thunder and lightning. We have technology that can withstand that. They're called airplanes. Why would we fucking care that the shit that can't even stay in our skies? Why would we want that? Why would we want it?
I don't know. There's some really well documented flying saucer cases from back in the day. It's actually kind of surprising. Like,
Yeah.
it'll be like like the town sheriff and 6 lawyers and the head of the like all these like upstanding, people in society all saw this big fucking thing outside this farm and wherever the fuck.
Yeah.
And then you could read Day After Roswell if you really want to get noited.
No, I know Roswell. There's obviously some weirdness there.
Yeah, it's I don't know. There's so much there. It's like there's got to be some there.
Yeah.
Definitely, I think the answer would be you want God to be real because then you don't die forever and ever. I personally believe in the vast continuum of all life and the oneness of all things. So I already know it's, no big deal. I'm going to return to the big ball of light in the center of the universe and be among the many trillions of so-called souls that have come to rest there.
Hell yeah.
But it'd be nice if one of those Aleister Crowley minor Egyptian gods was cool. Was real,
Yeah, I mean, if it's going to be a deity, I just want the one who's right to come
Yeah.
back so I can be like, all right, well, I guess I'm following you now.
So Mormon God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that would suck.
Mormon God's a pretty good God because you do get your own planet at the end of everything.
I forgot about that.
And you could run it however you want. It could just be Mariah Carey and WNBA games all day. Just nothing but Adam Todd Brown shit.
I'd be into that. But is it just you by yourself or do you get to bring people?
I think you get to create your own like species.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm into
You
that.
get your own kind of like sea monkeys to fuck around with.
Yeah, I guess I'm Mormon now. And they're super progressive. They accepted black people as real way back in 1974. So
Yeah, super recent.
yeah, I guess I would go. I mean, I would also be down to see an alien. That would be cool too. Why's it got to be a hostile alien? Why can't it be a chill alien? Why can't the alien be the deity? Are we sure that's not going to be a thing?
Yeah, I mean the you know what's that Arthur C. Clarke quote? Sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool to see First Contact. Honestly, I would be pretty geeked about that. I've heard the argument made that like if a species could reach faster than light travel, they would have to have evolved, you know, a sort of peaceful structure of living in order to even get there without like destroying themselves like we're doing.
Yeah. I've always hated that pushback against the idea of UFOs and aliens. The thing where people are like, well, we don't have the technology to do that. And it's like, you're going to have to assume that if they get here, they have the technology. That's not really a solid pushback against that theory. Like, you would just have to accept that they have it. Like, they have the technology. That's why they got here. So the fact that we don't have it doesn't mean shit.
And like, yeah, we don't have it. We've never had anything that we claimed we didn't have. We only ever had what we said we had. Like, I defer back to the SR-71 Blackbird. Looks like it's out of fucking Star Wars, and we designed it in the 60s and built it in the 70s and used it all the way through the 90s. And you know, that's what they've told you about.
The stealth bomber too. If you really read up on the Arizona Lights incidents, there's two separate ones. There's the one that Kurt Russell saw from an airplane when he was flying his son to go visit his girlfriend. True, that actually happened.
Gotta be awkward for the son, like, oh, I gotta go fly thousands of miles to hang out with my dad and his new girlfriend.
No, he was flying his son to visit his son's girlfriend. That's what kind of dad Kurt Russell is.
My boy's getting some pussy, one without 1,000 miles or not.
And they were just in the fucking air. And he's like, Paul, are those aliens over there? And sure enough, Kurt Russell is one of the first people to have reported the Arizona Lights when he was being the best dad, flying his son to go visit his son's girlfriend. But there's a second incident with the Arizona Lights where if you read up on it, it sounds like a low-flying stealth bomber. The description of it, they're just like, it's like flat, triangle shaped. It's bigger than anything we've ever seen, very quiet. It's like, that sounds like the stealth bomber. And then the stealth bomber was introduced to the world like 3 months later in 1997. So same thing. Like, I think the stealth bomber might be some of the UFO sightings.
Yeah, at least that one.
Someone floated the idea once. I don't remember. I think it was a listener. It was way back in the day that if you look at some of the other famous UFO sightings from like 2000s, late 90s, it just looks like drones now. So are we sure that's not what that was back then? Was just us testing some sort of drone?
I'm not sure that's not still that now. I mean, some of the stuff they had on the East Coast a while back just looked like really advanced drones, really fast drones.
Did you ever see the video I did about that?
No, I don't think so.
Those drones were first spotted above a place called the Picatinny Arsenal. And the Picatinny Arsenal is like one of the most advanced military weapons labs in the country. And at the same time, those drones just showed up out of nowhere, flying all around the East Coast. A group of people from the Picatinny Arsenal were making a trip to the Department of Defense to sell them on the things the Picatinny Arsenal is capable of producing. And it's like, well, that's who's launching the fucking drones, obviously. That's who it is. I don't know why that was ever such a fucking mystery. I did this as a solo episode. I should have done it on the Conspiracy Pod. Maybe we'll do an episode about it here. Those drone sightings, happened every day except Thanksgiving. Why?
Yeah, aliens are really, into the story of Squanto and the whole thing.
What happened on Thanksgiving that there were no drone sightings? Could it be that the government employees who were launching those drones had the fucking day off? Maybe.
I wanted to think that this was a part of the rich history of UFO sightings around nuclear facilities.
No, I don't think it was.
That is another thing that makes me think any aliens coming here may be benevolent, is because they seem to be like, okay, don't fucking blow yourself up now.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Aliens. I take it back. I want to see aliens. Norm from Cheers. What's the best meal you've had recently?
I know exactly what it is. Salsa and beer in the valley, green enchiladas. Get the fuck out of town.
Oh, yeah.
Really, some of the most flavorful Mexican food I've ever had in my life. I'm not usually like big on the rice and beans portion of a Mexican meal. The rice and beans were so goddamn spicy and flavorful. It was like I ate almost all of them for the first time. I didn't finish my enchiladas because the rice and beans were so good.
Oh, wow.
Enchiladas were crazy. They got like 7 different kinds of unbelievable house-made salsa, bean dip with your chips, good margaritas.
What's the name of this
Excellent
place?
meal. Salsa and beer. I think they have a couple locations.
Yeah, because I'm an enchiladas guy. That's my go-to. I judge a Mexican restaurant based on what their enchiladas are like.
For a sit-down Mexican restaurant, it's always got to be enchiladas.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a red sauce guy, but that's fine. We can get along.
Yeah, we can break bread.
Yeah. I remember one time I was in Albuquerque, which the enchiladas in Albuquerque are fucking magic. And
I believe you.
I was ordering, and they have a thing down there where if you want red and green sauce, you're apparently supposed to say Christmas when they ask what kind of sauce you want. And I didn't realize that. So I was ordering, and she asked what kind of sauce. And I said both. And this motherfucker looked at me and goes, do you mean Christmas? And she said it just like that. Like she was angry. And I said, no, I mean both. And that's why you knew what I meant.
So now you got 3 sauces, red, green, and spit.
And jizz, yeah. I don't know why she had jizz. Just had some in her pocket.
She was just such a trollop. She had it on hand.
Just saving it up. But yeah, I fuck
just
with
in case.
I fuck with an enchilada. Best meal I've had recently. I've had a lot of tasty meals recently, but since we're talking Mexican food, if I can make a recommendation, there is a Michelin star Mexican restaurant inside this like nondescript looking food court type of thing near downtown LA.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
The restaurant's called Holbox, Holbox, which is the name of a city in Mexico. And they have a whole branzino. It's just a whole fucking big ass fried fish. And I had no expectations going in. My wife wanted to go. She's way more of a restaurant person, does the research. And I was like, yeah, I guess I'll go eat a fucking whole fish. I'm sure I'll be hungry after.
Like a seal.
I fucking lust after that fish. Like,
really?
I will go eat that fish any goddamn time. I'll stand in the long ass line. I don't care. The line is crazy, but it's fucking.
Does it have the head attached?
Still got the head attached. Yeah, I do believe.
You're a savage.
I mean, you don't have to eat it. You can also get a branzino filet, but their beans and rice is also crazy good. They do a black beans.
Oh, I like that.
It's a tasty meal. Whole box. If you're ever in LA, go to Whole Box. Tell them Connor sent you. Fuck it. They're not going to know either way.
It doesn't matter. We don't get it. We're not sponsored.
Kilo, AKA I'm Kilo. If the Democrats get the majority of both houses in the midterms, should they try to impeach and remove Trump for starting a war without authorization?
If there are a midterms, let's be honest.
Yeah. I don't know how close people are following what's happening in California, but the election's not even over and the FBI is already doing fraud investigations into the vote counting and things. I feel like it's kind of a preview for what we're going to see with the midterms in any state Republicans don't win.
Yeah, I'm expecting ICE outside polling stations harassing anyone darker than I am.
Yeah, which I don't know why, if you're in California, no matter what side of things you land on, just for the side of convenience, a thing I think we can all agree is good, why would you go vote on election day? Just fill that fucking ballot out and take it there beforehand.
I always feel like they're just not going to count it, even before all this stuff was going on.
They send you an email and tell you that it's counted.
I usually get my ballot in the mail and then I turn it in at the place.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah. I go I fill it out in person and then take it to a drop box.
Yeah, because unless I put it in a thing, I'd feel like it doesn't count.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I don't mail it, but I do. I don't fuck with voting on election day. It's chaos.
To answer your question, though, absolutely, they should try to impeach him. I mean, before his second term, they had him for 91 crimes, I think it was. Lord knows how many crimes he's committed now with the insider trading, with Baron Trump shorting crypto, with all this fucking market manipulation shit, with all the fucking, pay to play pardons, and you could go on and on and on. But it won't happen because the Democrats are not a real opposition party.
Yeah.
They are always going to tell you that the only way for them to win is for them to tack to the right because they have to pick up some moderate Republican voters, a subset of people which barely, if does not exist. You can look at the data from 2020, they got 4% of moderate independent voters.
Yeah.
In 2024, they got 1%. It's clearly not a winning strategy. It is just an excuse to keep fundraising through corporate PACs and take APAC money. And they're not an opposition party. They're the fucking Washington Generals of politics.
Yeah, I can't imagine there truly being that many undecided voters out there, at least now. I could see back when shit was normal. I mean, motherfuckers used to campaign together when they were running for president.
Yeah.
That's what shit used to be like. So back then, yeah, I could totally see being undecided when voting Republican or Democrat wasn't as polarizing as it is now. But now, what the fuck? Just pick a side.
Fat Mike from NoFX did this thing called Punk Voter in 2000 or 2004. Yeah, I think it was 2004. It registered a shitload of people at Warped Tour and stuff like that to vote, trying to get the youth vote out to vote for John Kerry, get George Bush out of office. So he had a lot of experience talking to people about this shit in 2004, back when it was a different era for politics. And he said back then, you could turn someone from a Republican to, Democrat voter just by talking to them about the issues for 10 minutes. And he said it was doable. Now he says, if you talk to a Trump supporter, it's completely impossible.
Yeah.
And I think that experience is, at least I've had the same kind of perception of people.
The most headway I ever made with a Trump supporter is I got a guy to go, I never thought about that. When I pointed out that all of the immigration, the influx of immigrants especially from Central America that have happened several times over the years, it's always been because of shit we were doing in Central America. Shit the United States was doing that caused that influx of immigration. So by that metric, isn't it kind of our responsibility to make sure those people are taken care of in some kind of humane way? And this guy was just like, I guess I never thought about that. Anyway, back to being a racist piece of shit.
Yeah. To be fair, I've never thought about it like that, but that is a good point.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at in the 90s, it was shit we were doing. That's how we made MS-13. That's not even conspiracy theory. If you look at the fucking official docs, MS-13 started here. They started in LA because an influx of immigrants fled Central America because of a fucking civil war that we had a big part in making happen. They come to South Central LA and are surrounded by street gangs. And they're like, well, shit. Good thing we have so much experience with guns, having just fled this civil war. And MS-13 started as a means of protecting Salvadoran immigrants in South Central Los Angeles from other gangs. And then we deported them back to El Salvador. And that is how MS-13 ended up in El Salvador. We did that, not them.
Well, you got to be kind of proud on some level that America's produced another iconic gang. I mean, the Bloods, the Crips.
Yeah.
5 families. We've got some heaters.
Oh, gangster disciples, vice lords. Don't get yourself shot in the Midwest, Connor. Cover all the bases.
This is the same story as ISIS. We banned the Ba'ath Party, and then there's nowhere else for them to go, all these bureaucrats, but to make their own Islamic State.
Yeah. Yeah, we're really good at that. Pretty weird.
Yeah, it's almost like we want this to happen so that there can be someone for us to go topple again.
Yeah. We just keep stumbling into creating our own enemies. Crazy.
That's how on top we are. We literally have to create enemies for us.
But yeah, Trump should be impeached for any fucking number of things. He's done so many impeachable things in his second term.
Pick one. I mean, it's insane. I was reading about Richard Nixon the other day because Richard Nixon really was our last great liberal president, proposed programs for the poor, the FDA and the EPA and all this shit. And you look at Richard Nixon now and you're like, he's like not even in the bottom 10 anymore.
Yeah, same with Watergate. Imagine if Watergate happened now. They would just sell t-shirts with the fucking burglars' faces on them on Truth
Seriously.
Social. That's all that would happen. That wouldn't be a scandal now. All right. This next question is from a Tiff Myers, host of the Sus Stories podcast. Check us out at Comic-Con this year. A Tiff is doing a panel at Comic-Con as part of the Sus Stories podcast. And me and Jeff are going to be on it. So it's going to be my first time ever going to Comic-Con. Very excited. Bought a Blue Devil comic t-shirt for it. Blue Devil, the only comic book I've ever bought or cared about.
I've never even slightly heard of that.
The only reason I bought it is because I have like a collector's sickness in my head. And I was at a convenience store as a kid, a convenience store called Convenient. And on the comic book rack was issue 1 of Blue Devil. And I was like, well, I'm going to get in on the ground floor of this.
Nice.
And even as a kid, I bought 2 copies thinking like, I'm going to flip this in the future. And I probably pissed on it at some point. Who knows?
Well, let's see now how much money you left on the table. Blue Devil #1.
Oh, not much. I can buy a graded #1 for right around $100.
Yep. High grade and mint about $30 to $100.
Yeah. So
probably didn't even keep up with inflation.
No, it doesn't seem like. I could buy the whole collection for under 100, I believe. I think there's only like 60 issues.
Yeah, Comic-Con, it's just kind of like, when you go to the movie theaters and they got like a cardboard cutout of Chris Pratt from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
The blaster. It's just kind of a souped up version of that for like whatever shows are coming out in the next 9 months.
Yeah, I'm interested to check it out. This is the only way I would ever go to Comic-Con, just because it's the money I would have to spend for a part of pop culture that doesn't super duper resonate with me in that way. I mean, if it was like a sports card convention, I still wouldn't spend that much because then I wouldn't have any money to spend at the convention. So
I wouldn't go to a Yu-Gi-Oh convention because I'm depressed enough just already.
Yeah, I'm not a crowds guy. I don't love huge crowds.
Anytime I see a large group of people into the same thing that I'm in, I just go, oh God, what have I done with my life? This is terrible.
So a Tiff's question. What's your favorite discontinued food? Connor, I don't know if you know this, but a little bit of podcast folklore. But Tiff Myers famously does not use condiments.
Interesting. Any condiment.
Any condiment. None.
Just likes his food dry.
Just cherishes a dry burger, a fucking dry ass chicken wing. I don't know. Does he do sauce on wings? We just ate a meal together the other day before a Sparks game, and he almost ordered wings. And then changed his mind at the last second. So now I don't know if he's a sauce on wings guy, because he does eat orange chicken.
That's kind of inherently covered with the sort of coating or sauce.
Yeah, that's a condiment. That's a condiment.
But it's a part of the recipe. He's talking about a superfluous additional sauce that would go on top of like a already, finished food.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't dip his orange chicken in Szechuan sauce because that would be sacrilegious.
Correct. So in that vein, I'm going to go the Ghost Pepper Ranch at Wendy's.
I've heard about this.
Yeah. I believe they have discontinued that. If they didn't, the last time I tried to order at Wendy's, they did not have it. So I actually changed my order because I'm not going to get those nuggets without the GPR. Popeye still has the blackened ranch because I have a fucking bottle of it in my refrigerator.
That stuff is good.
Yeah, I'm going to go the Ghost Pepper Ranch sauce at Wendy's. I'm not a big ranch guy. It's got to be a really special ranch for me to give a shit.
Yeah, I need you to do something to the ranch in order for me to have any interest. Blacken it or spicy-fy it or something.
Or a homemade ranch.
Yeah, homemade ranch would also be acceptable. I did not even have to think about this question for 2 seconds. I have had this, like, how guys go to Korea in the war and they fall in love with a Korean woman, but it's not meant to be, and they go home and they've got a picture of her in a locket and they bust it out of their bedside drawer once every 6 years and just cry.
Sure.
That's the way that I feel about the Jack in the Box Chipotle chicken ciabatta sandwich, the Triple C, made in 2006, promotional item. I used to ride my fucking scooter to my local Jack in the Box every single day so that I could eat this. It was my pop culture. It was my rock star. I was such a fan of this sandwich. I would have followed it around like the Grateful Dead if that was what it needed to happen for me to eat it. It had this smoky chipotle sauce. It had these ciabatta buns that had the right amount of chew to them. It wasn't a crispiness, it was a chew. And then just a spicy chicken patty that had been breaded to perfection with lettuce, onion, tomato. Crazy. No onion actually, just lettuce, tomato. Crazy sandwich. There's one waiting for me. If I somehow squeak by St. Peter and make it into heaven, that's waiting for me with a large orange soda, sweaty, you know.
Yeah, that does sound good. It's not the kind of thing I would ever fathom ordering if I was forced to go to a Jack in the Box, because I'm not a Jack in the Box fan.
Neither am I. Since their chicken sandwich, I had one in like the last 5 years, and I was like, "Fuck, this is quality. Inflation has come for this sandwich."
Oh, speaking of discontinued food items, Wendy's changed their spicy chicken sandwich. And
What?
they started that shit. Why change it? Like, Wendy's was the first fast food spicy chicken sandwich, and it remained the best for the longest time.
I thought it had like market dominance.
I thought it did too. They changed everything about it. The bun's different, the chicken's different, the lettuce is shredded now for some reason.
Get out of here.
It's not just that it's not as good, it's bad now. Like, I will never order another Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich. It broke my fucking heart. Ugh. Beyond that, you saying a promotional sandwich reminded me of the Arby's Nashville hot fish sandwich.
Okay. That sounds AI generated.
That was around for about 3 weeks in like April of 2017 or something. Me and Vanessa Guerrero ate one in the parking lot of an Arby's. Me and my wife ate a couple, and then it was just gone forever. And it was so good. It was just a fried fish sandwich, Nashville hot sauce, and then it had a peppercorn ranch instead of tartar sauce on it. It was tasty. It was really
that sounds
fucking
good. I was really skeptical about this just based on the name alone, but once you broke it down, I think that sounds pretty excellent.
We remade a version of it later at home, and it holds up. It's really good. Also, R.I.P. Hooters. Hooters filed for bankruptcy recently. I feel like
I saw that.
that's a dying breed.
My
So,
thing with Hooters is like, if we're going to Hooters, why don't we just go to a strip club? And my thing with strip clubs is like, if we're going to a strip club, why don't we just get some cocaine and hire some sex workers? You know, like, what are we doing? Why fuck around?
because I really am a guy who went to Hooters because of the food. I fucking love
Okay.
Hooters wings. But on the bright side, Hooters wings are so fucking god tier. You can buy the flour that they make them with, and you can buy Hooters wing sauce in stores. So beyond that, you just need some fucking chicken wings.
And some tits.
You can make Hooters wings at home. So
You know, that's that congresswoman whose husband got caught wearing the big fake tits. You should get a pair of those when you're making Hooters wings, just for the full experience.
Oh, I miss Hooters. I used to, when I lived in Burbank, whenever I would go to a movie, I would hit the Burbank Hooters before, throw 15, 20 wings down my gullet, go see a movie. RIP to a real one. Hooters.
Sounds like a pretty good time. You know what also went the way of the dodo that I think is a damn shame? One of my favorite things to eat when I was depressed was to go to a Taco Bell / Pizza Hut and get the full thing. Large Sierra Mist, pepperoni personal pan pizza, and those glorious breadsticks with like granules of salt the size of a marble. Like the biggest pieces of salt you've ever seen in your life.
Fortunately, there's one still sort of near me, but it's in Gardena, so it's only near me during the day. There is a combination Long John Silver's KFC.
Oh, I've seen those.
Long John Silver's, I still maintain, is one of the best fish and chips you can get. I don't know why people make fun of it. Do you people not like fish and chips? That's all it fucking is. It's a fish and chips place. Go eat some fish.
Ron Swallow dragged me to a Long John Silver's when I first did the road with him and Bruce Shingles, and I was like, everything that comes out of this kitchen is the exact same color.
Yeah, you know what color that is? Good is what color it is.
Delicious brown.
Yeah, I have over the years lost a lot of weight. I used to weigh 350 pounds, and my ability to put away a lot of food over the years has also dwindled as I've gotten smaller. I guarantee you I could still throw down on an 8-pack of Long John Silver's fish. I could do that with no problem. I would force myself to eat it all if I had to. I love it.
You know, it would honestly be probably more popular than you'd want to admit on this network is a mukbang show.
Oh yeah. Should we do it?
You and the co-host, you and Vanessa Guerrero going to town on some Long John Silver. People want to see it, you know? That's what people want to see.
I mean, I'm diabetic. I can't do it now. I would have to just throw down on like a pound of bacon or something. Keep my carbs in check, which I bet I could eat a fucking pound of bacon too. But I feel like anyone could eat a pound of bacon.
Yeah, that's kind of...
That's not that. That's what, 12
Easy
pieces
mode.
of bacon? It's going to take you 5 or 6 to even realize you're full.
And then once you start getting the meat sweats, you're almost done.
Yeah. Then you're going to take such a good shit 3 days later when that softens up in your gut. All right, Steve, if that is your real name, what out of style movie genre would you like to see make a comeback?
I got to say big budget comedy, over the top, Austin Powers, Bruce Almighty kind of comedy, you know? High concept, big stupid set pieces. It's been too long. What are these grounded fucking bridesmaids comedies we keep trying to make? Let's bring out the, you know, the evil genius layers and the fucking blowing up Mount Rushmore and the good stuff, you know?
Yeah. How you feeling about Scary Movie coming back?
You know, I never watched the original one, but just like knowing I think like in the time since the first Scary Movie has come out, there's been enough changes in horror movies in general that there's a new set of tropes to make fun of. I think there's room for it if they do it right.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Meet the Blacks?
No.
I didn't realize it. I feel like they did a terrible job marketing it, but Meet the Blacks is actually a comedy parody of The Purge, and it is funny as shit. It has one of my favorite fucking bits I've ever seen in a comedy. Have you seen the original Purge movie, the Ethan Hawke one?
No, I know what it is. I saw one of the sequels.
There's a famous scene in that one where the people who are trying to break into Ethan Hawke's house are standing on his porch talking to him through his doorbell camera, and they recreate that scene in Meet the Blacks, and this guy is just making all of these fucking vile threats. He's got this big group of people with him. He's making all these threats about what he's going to do to this family when he gets in the house, and then calls the guy the N-word, and everyone in his group is like, dude, come on. I fucking loved that bit so much. That like that was the line for them. Like, you can murder, but don't call him the N-word. Come on.
Jesus Christ, come on.
It's such a great bit. That movie is shockingly good. I feel like they did a terrible job marketing it.
I had no idea what that was supposed to be about. I remember the name. I vaguely remember commercials, but like it just seemed like a boring family comedy and something. I feel like it's been a few years since we've had a really bad Sony superhero movie. You know, like Venom with the Eminem song. Venom, the worst Eminem song ever.
Yeah.
Those are kind of fun. You know, seeing with some buddies, take an edible or something, you know. I love a good bad movie. So let's see them license a really shitty character from, you know, like Rob Liefeld Spider-Man or something that just totally stinks.
Yeah. I would say low budget horror movies, but it seems like those are making a comeback. Have you seen Obsession yet?
No, I mean, I know Backrooms is killing it.
I hated Backrooms.
I don't understand what's scary about being lost in an office. I think it's so stupid.
I feel like they just wanted a movie they could make look like the TV show Severance, and that was just the script that worked the best. But Obsession, I think the budget was like $750,000, and it's one of the best horror movies I've seen in a long fucking time.
Okay, I have to check it out.
The short version is it's about a guy who finds a novelty toy that says you can make one wish and it'll come true. And he wishes that this girl loved him more than anything else in the world, and that wish comes true, and it gets very dark. There's a moment very early in the movie where they're spending their first night together, and this isn't a spoiler, don't worry, where they're in bed and he gets up and goes out to the living room to do some shit on his computer. And when he comes back in, she's sitting up in the dark and just goes, "What were you doing?" And in that moment, the guy sitting behind me leaned over to the woman he was there with and goes, "She sounds like you." Like, that is either the strongest relationship or they broke up after that fucking movie.
I was about to say, I've dated this chick.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have.
Every time you look at your phone, and it's like, how you think I need to watch porn now, or what are you talking about?
Yeah. And that just always makes me think, well, what the fuck are you doing on your phone?
I'm not even a jealous type. I don't even care about that. I've never so let me cheat on you in peace. Come on.
Oh, I would also love to see a return to the golden age of chick flicks. I feel like the early 2000s,
Oh, yeah.
like the Confession of a Shopaholic era, man.
What women want.
Yeah, we were cranking them out back then, and I was fucking into it. There was a point there in my like 20s, early 30s where chick flicks were just my genre. Like it's because everything else in my life was so fucking terrible. I was like, well, what kind of movie do I want to watch? Some unrealistic feel good shit.
Yep, where everything gets wrapped up neatly.
Yeah, they were so good in the early 2000s. Sith, would you rather guillotine all the billionaires at once or draw it out and do a few each Friday or Sunday or whatever night for a few years? What do you say?
I think we should leave them all with like $100 million. Like a plenty of, you could still be a complete out of touch dick. We're just taking the other $1.9 billion. You know, like,
yeah, I mean, I get why it's not that way, but I don't get why it's not. There should just be a limit to how fucking rich you can be. You don't need to be richer than that.
You know what I learned recently? You know what the marginal tax rate was under conservative Republican Dwight D. Eisenhower in the 1950s?
What's that?
Fucking like 94%. It's
Jesus,
insane.
That's crazy.
And kind of no coincidence, was that the time when everybody was doing great and we were building lots of highways and,
Yeah, go figure.
well, everybody white was doing great, let's be honest.
Yeah. But I mean, even then, it was that era where if you just had like a solid factory job,
Yeah.
you could buy a house, you'd have a pension, you could retire, you could send your kids to college. That's not the fucking thing anymore.
Have enough left to go on a vacation with the wife.
I won't do the whole bit, but I have a bit I do on stage that sort of involves all this. So I'm going to go off the choices we have here for my answer. I want all of the billionaires to die in a visually stunning space travel accident.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, because I feel like that's going to take at least some of them. If we can just get them all on the same space bus and be like, you're going to be the first billionaires in space, well, you're going to be like the fourth, fifth, sixth, something like that. They would do it. And then if, God forbid, a catastrophe happens and that's how the revolution starts, it's fine.
Well, yeah, I would like to see sort of a Death Note style culling. Okay, I guess I've also seen Death Note, where just write their names in a book and they all have a heart attack, because I do feel like their wives/children would be more judicious giving away the money than they would be, because they ostensibly earned it, or feel like they earned it, even though I don't really agree with AOC too much these days, but I saw her recently say, like, you can't earn $1 billion, and I very much agree with that.
Yeah. All right, last question. Jim C. I once spent 24 hours on a train to arrive somewhere 500 miles from where I thought I was going. What's your biggest travel/transportation fuck up, Connor?
I was driving to Winnemucca, Nevada with my friend Vince Royale to do a terrible gig. And we stopped at the only gas station between like buttfuck nowhere and, like Dead Goat Skull Road. It was it was nowhere. And there's a couple of trailers, like a sort of little shanty town-esque thing. Maybe 30 people could have been there at the most. And my buddy Vince leaves the lights in my Honda Fit on while we go inside to pay for gas, kills the battery, middle of nowhere. I happen to have jumper cables, and we try to flag down like the next 3 cars. There's like no luck. Finally, an old couple in like a Porsche stop, and we beg them if we can jump our car, and the old guy's like no, and his wife is like, oh come on, Henry, and we jump started it off the Porsche. But that was the.
How long were you in there paying for gas that the battery died?
Not long. Maybe we looked around a little.
That's great.
It was, a quaint little country store.
Yeah.
But yeah, we probably spent 45 minutes sweating about whether or not we are going to be able to make it to the gig.
I'm a sucker for those like roadside travel stop places that just have a big ass store attached to them. I love that shit.
Oh yeah, a Bucky's or a Love's or the world's largest thermometer.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a surprise gift shop. Fucking, I'm way into it. Mine, I think, would be me and my friend Doug in South Dakota. Shout out to Doug the Thug. We were going to see Audio Slave in
Nice.
concert at First Avenue in Minneapolis, which is where Purple Rain was filmed. And it was right after that first Audio Slave album came out. So we're going to go see fucking Chris Cornell and Rage Against the Machine in a tiny ass club, fucking fired up. We're driving from Sioux Falls, South Dakota to Minneapolis. Anyone who lives in Sioux Falls knows, one, the only fun thing to do in Sioux Falls is leave and go to Minneapolis. And two, you know how easy it is to get there. You get on I-90, go east, get to I-35, go north. That's it. Hope no bridges collapse on your way. You're good. Somehow, my friend Doug went north at the wrong point. And about 2.5 hours into what is normally about a 3.5 hour drive, we realized not only are we not close to Minneapolis, we still have not left South Dakota. Connor, Sioux Falls is maybe 15 miles from the South Dakota border. So we had been driving for hours and had not left the fucking state. But we still got to the show in time because Doug drove something like 95 miles an hour the entire rest of the way.
Fuck yeah. Go Doug.
Yeah. When we realized where we were, we consulted a map and we did get there in time to see Audio Slave. And it fucking ruled.
That was the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was great.
Okay.
It was great.
I have a way better one that from the same trip with the same guy. Vince and I make it to Montana. And we've got to go from Ashland, Montana to Plentywood, Montana. Plentywood, Montana is right just south of the Canadian border. And we have no cell phone service in the state of Montana at this time. My buddy had Boost Mobile because he lives in the year 1997. I had AT&T. No, couldn't get on Apple Maps, couldn't call our girlfriends, couldn't do anything. So we have to go to the town pump. It's called the fucking town pump is how goddamn backwoods this place is. And we look at a paper map on the wall to figure out how to get to Ashland. And Vince eyes a shortcut and he goes, all right, we're going to turn, left on Highway 45 or whatever the fuck. Take a left about 5 miles down the road. It turns into a dirt road. I'm driving a Honda Fit, which has got a city car suspension. It's got about as much suspension travel as a fucking Hot Wheels car. And we're ka-chunking down this road. We make it about 15 miles down the road and we see a cowboy, a literal fucking cowboy on a horse with a cowboy hat, and I roll down the window to my little Honda Fit and I look up at the real man on his horse and I'm like, how much longer is this road dirt for? And he laughs for like 15 seconds and he goes, 100 miles. So nice. We had to turn around, go back to the town pump, get to different directions. It was a whole thing.
And I think that is our episode. We did it, right? Speaking of travels, we made it from the beginning of this episode to the end of this episode, and here we are.
And what a journey it was.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not the same people we were when we started.
Now I'm just thinking about Blackened Ranch.
I fucking love a Blackened Ranch. Man, bring back the Ghost Pepper Ranch, Wendy's. Fucking cowards. Connor, thank you so much for doing the pod. I appreciate it. As always, what do we have to plug before we get out of here? This is going up for free because we are rebooting the flagship show. So for a couple weeks on the feed where the flagship shows would be, we are putting up some stuff from the Patreon that you can listen to when you subscribe. This is one of the shows we do normally just for subscribers only. Your Voice Matters, where we answer your fucking questions. So subscribe on patreon.com/unpops or youdon'tpod.supercast.com, but Supercast seems like a fucking shit show right now. I'm working on setting up another subscription platform, but do that. Connor, what do you want to plug?
Check out my comedy special live in Tucson on youtube.com. Connor McSpadden live in Tucson on Tucson at tucson.com. The city of Tucson decided it was such a good youtube.com. We're at what are we at? 44,000 views. Let's try to get to 44,200. That would be great.
I think we can do it. And I think that's it. Let's get the fuck out of here. Connor, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. We love you.